Welcome, everybody, back to the High Rollers episode 4, where you have me, West.
RC.
Yep. But we have
We have a guest,
another third this time. We have a guest.
our
We
good
do?
friend Timmy.
What up? Hello, everybody.
Timmy.
Welcome from Coaster Talk Podcast.
It's invading.
Which is weird because I kind of just became an official host there like this year. Before I was just substituting everywhere, so I was substituting on that show all the time. But it's weird being an official host there now. Being introduced as Coaster Talk Podcast and other shows is weird.
Yeah, I mean, the show was great before, but the third dynamic, even though they shun your Disney stuff.
I mean, I'm kind of just. I feel like I just sit there. I don't really say much, and then I just make a little funny quip every here and there, or every now and then. Like that's my job.
No, like, I'm just thinking back to a recent episode. Like, the whole marathon bit. Like,
Oh, that was hilarious.
That could not have been done without you, Timmy's input as well. So,
I do think that might be the funniest thing the show has ever done. That was hilarious.
a disclaimer should be on that episode because I was driving and it was really hard to actually come. That's all I gotta say. But yeah, we have Timmy from Coaster Talk. If you guys haven't heard Coaster Talk, what are you doing? One of the best coaster podcasts out there right now. And
At the Drunk Riders.
yeah, out there with
We
the
gotta
drummers.
get one of them on next.
man.
It's our next guest.
That would be wild enough.
Get Sloan.
I'd love to get
Sloan would be
on.
so fun to have on, I bet.
Someone would be fun and interesting because he just knows a lot about the industry, man.
Yeah. Timmy, thank you so much for coming on.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
because good to have a full-on discussion with this loaded cast we got here. Looking at the itinerary, a lot of it's light news topics, but also we have some questions for you, Timmy, because every guest we like to really get to know for the people that.
Wait, have you had other guests?
Oh no, you're the
Not
first
yet.
one.
Okay.
But generally, it's the thing I got from commentary from esports that I used to do. I would really
Oh,
try
gotcha.
to get to know a lot of the amateur level and the regional level, because everyone knows the pros, but not everyone knows every cast or every person in the cast. So that's why I thought it'd be interesting, get some just baseline, just like how you became a Thuzy and just interest outside of that stuff. And yeah, so I guess we talk about coasters here. You're on a Coaster Talk podcast. How did you become a Thuzy? What made you, I guess, the coaster enthusiast you are today?
Well, of course, it all started with the greatest coaster park in the world, Disneyland. We all know that they're known for their roller coasters. Well, I'm just joking. So I grew up in LA, so I was like 30 minutes out from Disneyland. So I was going to Disneyland when I was young until we moved out when I was 14. And I was going there like weekly. So I loved Disneyland, right? Like the little fun fact is that the first ride I ever went on, Pirates of the Caribbean, it actually broke down my very first ride. I was 3 weeks old in like an over-the-shoulder like belly bag on my mom, and the ride broke down, which is really funny to me.
Your
I got
first
evac'd.
ever ride on a Disney ride was an evac.
Yes.
Right? That's
Wow.
Yes, when I was 3 weeks old.
Wow.
That's
But
pretty incredible.
so when I moved out to Virginia, where I'm at now, I moved when I was around 14, and we needed to find another amusement park to go to all the time. So that's when we found Busch. And around this time, I was already getting into coasters a little bit and into the industry because I was actually scared of roller coasters. Like what I've discovered, many enthusiasts were actually scared of coasters at one point in their life or another.
Same
Same.
here. Yep.
Same.
But I was scared of coasters because I rode a really rough one when I was young, and I just hated them. And then I ended up riding California Screamin' when I was a kid, when I was like maybe 10 or 11. Fell in love with it. And then when we moved out to Virginia, like I said, I needed to find another park to fill that amusement park void, that love for Disneyland. So we went to Busch Gardens, Williamsburg, and I rode pretty much everything there. I was still pretty GP at that point. Like I was still scared to ride Griffin, but I rode.
You
Yeah,
have the Big Bad Wolf credit?
I do not. I think I went for the second or third year of Bolton being open. So
Okay.
because I think this was around 2014, or 2015. It was 2014, I think.
Love Verbolten.
It's pretty good.
Underrated ride.
So yeah, when I moved out to Virginia, went to Busch Gardens, and then I really started to fall in love with the coasters there. And then that led me the next year to going to King's Dominion as well, because I heard of King's Dominion and I wanted to get up there, but I still wasn't able to drive at this point, so I was kind of begging my parents to bring me up there.
Mm-hmm.
And then I went there, fell in love with all the rides there, and that's what really kind of solidified my love for the coasters in the industry, I believe, because I realized like, I don't know, this is just something I'm really passionate about, even if it's not a Disney park. So
Yeah.
I feel like me and RC were saying Virginia is such an easy place to become enthusiasts. Like Busch Gardens and King's Dominion, an hour from each other, man.
I know if you live like in Richmond or like where I'm at right now, like you're 30 minutes from King's Dominion, like 45 from Busch Gardens, like you're in a good spot.
Yeah. That's why I said
Better than 45 from Six Flags America.
You got Wild One.
That's it.
Yeah, Wild One.
Roar is good. So Superman's pretty good.
Yeah, but Wild One.
Wild One is great. Besides the fact that they staple you every single time you try to. At least from my experience, I've been stapled every time I try to ride that thing.
Yeah.
So we're already tangenting, but this year they actually, you know, from my experience, my 8 rides, they really didn't staple that much, and I was like, bless, you know. Like,
I don't know. They they don't let you pull it down, so you kind of get stapled.
yeah, but
Yeah.
I did your leg trick, you know. Your
Well, you could do that, but like it just depends. It was still very hard to get room.
I also did the Steel Vengeance like wincing trick, where I kind of made like a little to make the like, oh, I don't want to hurt you. So yeah, that kind of helped.
See, they just apologize to me every time I ride that ride because they staple me so hard that I don't like wince as a trick. I wince out of actual physical pain, and
No,
they
like-
apologize.
I'm telling you, but like, yeah, it's what they do. All right, so back to I guess after King's Dominion and all that stuff, I guess that was really what made it there. Then
Yeah, and then after that, I traveled.
Going on trips. Yeah.
Yeah, so I started like I think I went to Florida, did the parks down there. I also went to like Busch Gardens, Tampa when I went to Florida, and like SeaWorld Orlando and stuff. Not just a Disney trip like some people might expect or normally do. So I did like some other coaster parks down there, and I was like, I remember Shikra was my 50th credit. I had that on my Snapchat story saved from like 6 years ago or something.
nice.
And yeah, from there it was like, you know, you start to be able to identify like manufacturers and stuff, and like that's kind of why I can tell like you're really getting into it, I think.
Yeah.
And then I think another big trip that solidified it for me was I got to pick a senior trip, and I did like a coaster trip through Pennsylvania.
Oh man,
That was
yeah.
that was pretty awesome because there's so many different parks and credits there that are awesome. So
I mean, you have the Big Boy and Hershey, but then you go a little lower in Kennywood.
you got Kennywood.
I'm saying
we did-
I'm saying in size, RC. All right, I'm saying
I hate
I'm
to
saying in
say,
terms of
yeah.
infrastructure. Okay, but then you have all the gyms of Knoebels. You know, like so.
your Kennywoods. You already said Kennywood, but like also we
Yeah.
also did Great Adventure that trip because that's like really
That's
close to
close by.
Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Man, I can't believe you're that much of a Hershey hater, though. Jesus.
Boo Hershey.
We will change
Wow,
that
bad take.
this year. All right, because
I need to go back there.
So RMC
Wildcats
stand.
Revenge.
Actually, you're an RMC stand. I'm an RMC fan until I ride a few more. But I mean, come on. You can't hate them, RC. Come on.
We'll see. We'll see. We have
so-
tangented so bad.
What did you say?
We're going on so bad of a tangent.
I mean, with these.
It's good. It's conversation. That's how these podcast things work. In case you didn't know, I know you're only on episode 4, not 188 or whatever. Some shows I know that are on.
200 is coming up for Coaster Talk. That's gonna be exciting.
Oh yeah, we have some plans. We're thinking about doing like a greatest of episode or something where we go through and go over our funny moments and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
Oh man, we will be invading that one potentially. Just for our segment, 5 minutes. Just to get Timmy too high again, so we can't.
I have no comment. That was ridiculous.
Yeah, we didn't even record.
Yeah, this was it's coming out a little later, just because of basically, yeah, high rollers. That's high rollers.
We're instead recording on Holiwood Nights Day.
Yes, which we will cover definitely later. It's a whole segment. Yeah.
Oh, I have I have some things to say about that now too. Don't you worry about that, buddy.
Yeah.
So I guess now, what kind of hobbies, what kind of things you like outside of coasters? You know.
I love photography. So I have an Instagram account called Midcourse Media.
Go ahead and follow that, everyone. At Midcourse Media.
And I'm in school right now getting a public relations degree. Hopefully able to use that in the industry. I love video games. I know I was talking to you a little bit about it, West, when we were hanging out. But yeah, I'm big into like Call of Duty esports and stuff. Used to play for VCU.
What's your favorite default CDO?
Yes, I'm just getting back into it.
All right. What's your go-to team?
Oh, I've been an Optic fan since I was like 10 years old. My email literally has Optic in it.
Formal,
it's
scum.
it's pretty bad.
I mean, yeah, I can't blame you. I'm kind of old school, so yeah, Optic. They phase a little bit, but they're more for their montages, you know. So.
Yeah, I like 100 Thieves just because Nadeshot owns the team and he was Optic, so I gotta support that too, you know.
Yeah.
But Optic all the way.
But yeah, gaming, photography.
Gosh, what else do I like to do?
Disney.
Disney. That's kind of in the industry still, I would say.
I mean, whenever I'm asked this question, it's always hard for me to just think, like, oh yeah, what are all the little... Because there's a lot of niche, sometimes it's random things.
I collect records. That's kind of a cool thing I do.
Oh, Timmy.
Yeah.
I always look at records when I go in stores now.
Really?
Nice.
I was just at the record store today with James and his girlfriend Jalen.
Jeez.
I picked up the Minecraft soundtrack because it's been eluding me for so long. I've been trying to get it for like a year and a half now, and I'm really good friends with the guy who owns the local record store, and I just tell him what I want. I'd be like, oh yeah, if you can order one of these and hold it for me, it'd be great, and so he does.
That's amazing. So, I wonder actually how that sounds on vinyl, because for you audiophiles that don't, or people that aren't audiophiles, vinyl has a very distinct sound. Like,
It's warmer.
yeah.
I mean, if you're an audiophile, you really honestly want to listen to lossless audio files on your computer if you really care about like how it is. But the reason why I like vinyl records is just because I like the intentionality of like I'll be sitting here studying or something, and it's like you listen to the album all the way through, like it's like how the album was designed to be listened to, instead of like listening on a playlist on shuffle or something.
Yeah, there's a lot of times I'll just go through, shuffle a playlist, but then I'll go back to my albums on play. You know how it's supposed to be, because they designed and structured that way. Art is sick. So yeah, we gotta talk more about gaming outside of this, because I could probably go on about esports for a bit, man. So Coaster Talk, how'd you even get affiliated with that?
So James and I became really good friends in 2017. We actually met at a Coaster Radio meetup.
Oh, nice.
I skipped my homecoming to go to that, which was the best decision I ever made because I met a lot of friends there. I also met RC knows Daniel. I met Daniel there too at that Coaster Radio meetup. And that's where I met James. His mom, we were both there. James is a little younger than me, so he was there with his mom. I was there with my dad, and his mom was like just trying to get him to talk to people his age, and she saw me, so she's like, "Go talk to that guy." And so our parents were talking, and James and I were talking. James and I became really good friends, and now our parents are good friends too. And James, I remember he had at the time it was called Mega Coaster Review was the YouTube channel he had going on.
Mega Coaster Review.
Oh my god, this is hilarious.
You guys are getting some Coaster Talk lore right now.
Oh yeah, what you do? A little fun tip: you go to YouTube, you sort by oldest to newest for Coaster Talk podcast, and you hear prepubescent James like, "Hey guys, it's James here," talking about how Gatekeeper is better than Top Thrill Dragster and stuff. It's pretty awesome.
Oh, those are the best.
But yeah, so I just kind of hopped on the podcast every now and then when Bob couldn't make it, and then Bob had to take a extended absence because he got really busy with work and family stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I hopped in to fill in, and then when Bob was able to come back, I decided we might as well try to do 3 of us and see how that works out, and I think it's been working pretty well.
Yeah.
Because then also, if one of us needs to drop out, we still have 2 people like the original show used to be. So.
Yeah, so it's not just one lone person with a grasshopper.
That's how it used to be. With James used to do Coaster Talk podcast just by himself.
Yeah, the dynamic between the 3, I think, is is fantastic. You know, it's a great dynamic from the other podcasts I listen to, that being the Drunk Riders, as in they're very comedy focused, very high energy. Where you guys are, it's not that they don't go into analytics, but you guys really talk and dissect each other's, you know, discussions and talking points.
I think we're just bigger nerds, to be honest.
I mean, maybe you're just bigger nerds, but yeah, like, and each three of your guys' perspective is the very besides 90% of the time you're agreeing with James.
Yeah, James and I agree on like our top 30 is almost identical.
And then me and Bob's top 30 are just all over the place with a bunch of wooden coasters.
Oh God, yeah, your top 30 is probably ridiculous.
It is.
You got some crazy takes. You got some out of left field takes.
My top 30, I think it's pretty stable. RC only just hates one thing about it.
Well, you've got Florida this week, West. So
exactly. So
it's about to go crazy.
Yeah, like after Florida, I have an idea.
It's about
to
go
never been
crazy.
West?
So the last time I've been to Florida was when I only went for Disney and hit like SeaWorld Orlando and Universal as side parks. Mm-hmm. So, and even when I went to SeaWorld, I couldn't ride Manta or anything because I was too small. So.
Oh man, so it's been a minute.
It's been.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. This year has basically been the year I'm jumping right back into everything. Like came back to Cedar Point in so long, finally getting to Florida and actually able to ride the rides. So, man, the top 25 is gonna be.
Yeah, dude, it's basically gonna be like when it blew up after Kennywood and Cedar Point. It's gonna be like that, but even more.
Oh man.
There's just so many good coasters in Florida you're about to get on.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what this list looks like. Like, I gotta see a before and after.
Okay, yeah, I'll show you the before, because the only one that RC doesn't like is where Stormrunner is. But
I've only been on that once, so I really don't have that much of an opinion on it.
I'm a Stormrunner stan, bro. I love
that thing is rubbish.
Rubbish.
I have a new piece of news. Did you guys see the picture of Mind Blower?
Yeah.
What about it?
Oh my gosh, the track.
No, I did not see this.
So
Hold on.
there was something
Where
on
is this
Twitter.
on?
It was on Twitter, or actually it was on Reddit, but it was also going around on Twitter as well. But
sending it that chat.
It showed basically a lot of some of the topper track was like splintered, bro. Like,
Yeah.
Oh man,
it's not looking good. Like, we already know that ride is notorious. Even people that haven't rode it, just as in the community, it's known. Like, you guys have just told me, and RC still loves the hell out of that ride because he's a master.
I do.
But yeah, that
way better than Stormrunner.
I don't know. People were saying like, oh, it's been like that for a few years, but like, I don't know, fix it. That's not a good look.
it's a little jarring, but it's still a good ride.
Feels like it's running on square wheels, but it's all right.
No, the splintering is where on the outside it gives that.
Here, I just sent it.
It gives that.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's bad.
It'll question if I'm gonna go and look when I go, and I will dictate if I will ride.
Knowing Fun Spot, it'll be open tomorrow morning.
Well, I'm getting there. Getting to Orlando at 11:57.
You get there tomorrow?
No. On the 8th.
I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah, I just low key bought an extra day. Nah.
I mean, hey.
But yeah, that doesn't look great.
It does not look. Yeah.
Is Mindblower, I'm assuming, the most aggressive of the small gravity group ones they've made?
Of the ones I've ridden, yes.
The ones I've ridden, yes, as well, I believe. It's definitely more intense than Kentucky Flyer.
Yeah, and Switchback.
Oh, I haven't done Switchback.
Yeah. Amazing ride.
So I think it's a mix of the Florida weather and how that ride is. Well, my phone just fell. And how that ride tries to throw you out. Like, it's a bowl. I mean, yeah, it's unfortunate. It's already is at the state that it is. but hopefully
its layout is really aggressive. So
yeah. All right. So next thing I have here is Disney. If it didn't actually come up, but you already threw in Disney.
It came up, yeah.
So any
we have an expert on Disney in the call.
We have a man who has a PhD
Kinda.
on Disney a little bit. Knows him some Disney. I guess what's your favorite things about the parks, or even just the IPs that you like on Disney?
I do like, so my favorite thing about Disneyland is it feels I'll go into a little tangent here. I'll adjust the question a little bit because a lot of
tangent away.
Because I get a lot of questions a lot of times about people why they ask me why I like Disneyland better than Disney World. And to me, I mean, I have an obvious extreme bias because I went to Disneyland like hundreds of times as a child.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that Disneyland feels so much more or so much less commercial to me. You know, the castle may be smaller. It may be a smaller park. There may be less attractions. But the way it feels to me, at least when I went, it was much less crowded from my experience with Disney World too. You know, there's like small little things like Walt actually walked inside Disneyland versus Disney World. He never saw completed. So, or the Magic Kingdom at least. And so I just think that Disneyland feels so much more like less commercial, I guess. It just feels like it's more of like a personable experience. And again, that's probably some of my bias talking, but the thing is, if you talk to two resorts, I still prefer Disneyland, but that's definitely more of my bias because California Adventure is really going downhill in my opinion because it has a bit of an identity crisis right now where it doesn't know if it wants to be still the California Adventure that it used to be where it was California themed or if they want to just pump as many IPs into it as they can because that's what seems to be going on right now.
I almost think they should just make Pixar Pier the whole park, but
yeah, like just change the name of the park because there's very little California left in that park, I feel.
It's unfortunate we weren't here on the last episode. Or even the one where your last coach would talk, because we were talking about Bob Iger, Jacob. I wonder how much of that was Iger? Like, Iger's lingering still? Or if Chapek really just said, hey, we're just going to throw in as much as we can. Because, yeah, like, Chapek definitely didn't understand what made Disney special at all. Kind of threw in.
Oh yeah, it was all he was more looking at the bottom line, looking at the numbers of everything. Where Iger kind of understood more, I think, about what makes Disney Disney. But something to remember though, real quick, is that just because the CEOs change doesn't mean the parks are going to change right away. Because the head of Disney Parks has not changed. It's still Josh D'Amaro.
Yep.
It's Bob Iger is working with someone else now, or it's that Josh D'Amaro is working with someone else now who will give him different ideas and like stuff like that. So it's. You know, people are expecting, oh, just because Bob Iger's back, reservations are going to be gone. We're going to have Fast Pass back. Genie Plus is going to be gone. None of that's probably going to happen. It's all probably going to, you know, this is probably more Josh. It's probably, I always thought that the change at Disney, like the, you know, with the Genie Plus, the Lightning Lane, and stuff like that, that was more of Josh D'Amaro's doing than Bob Chapek. I could be completely wrong, but, you know, it's, so when things change like this, it's just important to remember it's not going to change in an instant, you know, especially because Iger's only going to be in the company for 2 years. So
I always thought it was an evil concoction of the two.
You could look at it like that, yeah.
Because, you know, you have Chapek looking at the bottom line, looking at, oh, we're making money and revenue. And then Josh letting him do it in ways because he has access as president. We can go on this for a bit because I do follow Disney, you know, a little bit. It's the reason why I stopped going was because of the recent few years, like, lost some of its luster, in my opinion. So.
Well, the cost is also just the price of when I was a kid. This makes me sound so old, but I promise I'm only 22.
No, trust.
When
I understand.
When I was a kid, a season pass for the SoCal deal for being a SoCal resident is now the price of just a day ticket. So,
wow,
it's crazy.
I don't even want to look at Magic Kingdom's prices because they just literally make me throw up. So, we're gonna. On a better note, Disney hopefully turns for the better because
yeah, we'll have to see what happens.
Because even as someone who is into comics and obviously I like MCU, it was hurting my watching experience, looking at things getting rushed out. As being a comic book nerd, man. I wasn't a fan of Phase 4. It was the consensus. All right.
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't know. Did you guys
I was
see they put trains on the track for Air Force One today?
Did they?
So
Yes.
that would
That's
be
the one I forgot about. That's another one I forgot
I guess
about.
we can
that I
start
saw
off.
today.
Because we can start off with that with news, but I guess last two things here: most overrated coaster, and most underrated coaster, and this can also be a park for most overrated and most underrated.
Timmy's hot takes.
I don't know if it's a hot take anymore. I feel like Nitro is really overrated. Bob's gonna disagree with me with that if he ever listens to this
Nitro
episode.
is
I think
horrible.
Nitro is perfectly rated as being seen as mid. I don't know,
I don't know. I feel like it's a very polarizing coaster. You have people that love it and then people that hate it. I'm trying to think about other coasters that I have a hot take that it's overrated, but I can't really.
So I feel like if you like Nitro, you might also like Apollo's Chariot and Intimidator.
I mean, I like Apollo's Chariot, but I don't like Nitro.
So do you like? Is it the views on Apollo's Chariot?
I think there's more. I think there's actually airtime.
In the back, there can be some.
Wait. West, are you saying that Nitro and Apollo's Chariot are like equivalent? No, Nitro is not close to. But we're sitting here talking about boring and mild, anyways.
Hey, we're about to see what I think of Mako. So
Mako is awesome.
Mako's good, but
Mako is my
boring
favorite.
and mild.
My favorite hyper besides Shumball. It's my favorite hyper in the States. So
Boring and mild.
right now, Diamondback is mine, but like I said, we're gonna have to see because Mako has been the hot one in the States, ever since it opened. So
I think I still have Diamondback above it.
really, I thought you when the last time we went, you changed that.
I don't know. Might have been recency bias.
That I feel like that's something everyone always struggles with.
Yeah.
My
Especially
most
when we're talking about hypers.
most underrated coaster. I'm looking at my top rankings here. I'm trying to figure out what I think. Magnum, Summer Day with no trims. Oh my god, that is ridiculous. That is an underrated coaster, I think.
Episode 1, I was geeking over that ride because when I first rode it, I was like a tiny individual. Like I was saying, it was very uncomfortable for me. And rode it this year, incredible ride. It's comfy in my top 10. I'm not even afraid to say that.
I'd say it's underrated because a lot of people have it much lower than us. Like it's in my top 15.
Oh yeah, I agree. There's people that too
Magnum
rough.
slaps.
They have Millennium Forces 3 or
Oh
Top
gosh.
Thrill. Still, even though, yeah, but yeah. I guess parks.
Now, another coaster I want to shout out real quick for being underrated, I think, is Twisted Colossus. I love me some Twisted Colossus. If you could not tell by my profile picture on like everything.
So I think people they'll probably say it's because it doesn't duel as often anymore, but I don't know if that's fair.
Even if that's the case, you still pretty much get 2 rides.
Yeah,
if you think about it, 2 short rides, but oh my gosh, if you get that dueling ride, it is something very, very special.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because that was the last thing I got to do. Or one of the last times I went with a friend, that one of my local friends in California, and we got a dueling ride. He was not an enthusiast, but oh my gosh, I've never seen someone light up like that. Like they were having so much fun, and I was having a lot of fun too. So, all right, so we're on to parks now.
Yep.
Most overrated park? Ooh, this is a difficult one.
Busch Gardens, Williamsburg.
Dude, I kind of agree, but this is Timmy, so this is Timmy's opinion.
Kind of. I don't know. I also I got to keep in mind I got a bias there because I'm there all the time. Same thing with I'm at Kings Dominion all the time. I feel like Cedar Point is kind of an overrated park. Like they have good coasters and good scenery, but
Ooh,
you know,
that's hot.
I know some other people
Yeah,
that rhyme with Hames Jarber that would agree with me.
I know a certain Instagram account that would agree with that take.
Dude, Steel Vengeance is in the top 100 coaster.
Like or the coasters are great. Don't get me wrong. I love Cedar Point still, but it's not like the greatest park in the United States.
No, I can probably agree with that.
But I think a lot of people see that because they see the lineup and they think that. But there's other things that go into the park as well.
There's a difference
Oh.
between a good coaster lineup and a good park.
And also another overrated park. I don't really, I hang out with a lot of different people, and so I might have a different like feeling for how people agree with this. But Great Adventure, not a big Great Adventure guy.
I've heard different
Well, so-
things about it.
I really like Great Adventure, but like I don't know that I could say it's overrated though because I don't think a lot of people like it. Timmy,
That's what
I
I'm
feel
saying.
like I feel like you're in the majority that a lot of people don't really like Great Adventure. So I feel like it's not really like because I feel like already people say it's mid, so there's no point in saying it's overrated.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, I don't know like what the general consensus on the park is, but I mean, you got El Toro if it's open. You got Kingda Ka if it's open. And now you have Jersey Devil, which I have not ridden, so I can't have any opinion on it. But from what I've heard, it's not the greatest single rail.
I actually prefer it to Wonder Woman.
Really?
The restraints on Wonder Woman just are too bad. I think Jersey Devil Coaster honestly kind of hauls.
I didn't know there was a
It
difference between the
running really
restraints.
good. Yeah. The train restraints.
Oh, okay.
Like I was like displeasantly surprised by Wonder Woman, to be honest.
Really? I rode Railblazer, and that was freaking awesome. I rode that in the front row, and that was amazing.
Yeah, I'm not too sure, but
But that's generally the consensus I've heard of Great Adventure. Yeah, it's like you take out one of their top three, and the lineup's already hurting.
I mean they've got a Batman clone. They've
Then you're in a
got
Six Flags park, at that point. At the end of the day.
So we're most underrated park in my eyes. There's a couple. Holiday World is underrated in my opinion, even if they don't handle things right sometimes. We'll get onto that.
Yeah.
Even if people already love that park, it deserves more love because more love than they get because that is an amazing park. The charm there is something that you can't get at chain parks.
well, there's people that think Holiday World is overrated because of Hollywood Nights.
No, I mean that's why this is a perfect topic for this.
Yeah.
episode. We've been having this topic since before even the cast, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's a really special park. I mean, the Oasis stations really had to, in my opinion, I love the Oasis stations.
So what exactly are those?
Those are the free drink
Yeah.
stands.
Oh,
Yeah.
man. Yeah. Okay, alone that has to be one of the best parks in this.
Well,
in the
Holiday
States.
World is my number 2 park. So,
Behind
Universal.
Iowa.
Yes. Holiday World is my number 2 park behind Iowa. So I already have like a very high opinion.
Yeah, I know a lot of people do, but I think that some people think it's a good park, but it's like really like top tier,
It is.
and it has a lot to do with the staff and the coasters, and just the way that the park is ran. I think for the most part.
Yeah.
Another underrated. This is one I was thinking about earlier. So in Europe, when you think of good parks or the best parks in Europe, you think Europa, you think Portaventura, but I really think that the best park that I went to in Europe was Phantasialand when I went. I liked it better than Europa. I liked it better than Portaventura, and even if you take the coasters out of it, it had the best theming I think I've ever experienced in any theme park, hands down. It was amazing. I mean, the rock work when you're walking through like by Colorado Adventure and back towards Taryn in that area, the way that it's just like you literally feel like you're in a canyon. It's amazing. And then like you literally walk 100 feet in a different direction, you got Taryn and that crazy. It's like a whole different area, and it's another crazy example of like amazing rock work and theming there. And then you walk and you have like I think it's more like a typical classic German section with like a Ferris wheel, and then you walk over towards Rookborough, if I remember if that's how you pronounce it, and that's where Fly is. And that, oh my gosh, I can't even describe with words how amazing that area of the park is. You literally feel like you're in like a whole different time period. It is absolutely stunning. Like if I could go back to any park in Europe, it'd be Fantasyland. And I think that when people go to Europe trips, it doesn't get discussed as much as it should be.
Timmy, let's go to Fantasyland.
I would be down. I love Fantasyland.
It really,
I love Germany too.
it really sounds like that they just hit immersion at a whole nother level. Like, you don't need an IP.
Oh.
None of this is IPs either, because generally, like, we have
Oh, that's another thing that makes it awesome. Yeah.
we have Wizarding World of Harry Potter, which is probably incredible. I've never been. I've heard nothing but amazing things, but people go there because Harry Potter. They go to Star Wars Galaxy's Edge because Star Wars. But this is just steaming off of just people's mind, like just their own IP, their own lore that they're making in Fantasyland. That's really, really, really cool.
And one coaster there that was underrated, I also want to shout out. It's a funny one. Colorado Adventure is their mine train. Oh my gosh, it was actually really shocking how great that ride was. If I remember right, it has just like buzz bar lap bars, and it had 3 lift hills. It was incredibly long. There was like different sections, but the weirdest thing about it was the pacing of the ride. Like the way like you'd go up over a hill and it'd really whip you over. Like there was some good forces on that mine train. And there was like sections that was like all completely indoors in the pitch black. I mean, that is a ride that really, I think, most underrated, surprising ride that I rode in Europe, I think. And it's a mine train.
They're trying to get the kids ready.
That was really shocking. I was not expecting that. James and I were amazed when we rode it.
They're saying your next ride is Black Mamba. Let's go. But yeah, Fantasyland, we actually did a bucket list episode just before, and we both had that up there. We didn't rank them, but it probably would be at least top 3. It's just bucket list parks we want to visit in general. You hear nothing but amazing things about it.
If I remember correctly, when James and I were at the park, at least, we were trying to decide where we liked it in Europe, and we were like, do we like it the best in Europe? And like we were like, man, this is like universal level theming everywhere still. Like it's amazing. So
And that's hard to do. Like people say,
especially as like especially with a park like Fantasyland, like are they independent?
I don't even know.
I'm looking it up currently as we speak.
If they are, then even more kudos. Because that's I haven't even been. It's just the word of mouth is overwhelming. It's like the closest I've ever heard to like a 99 to 100% positive review rating.
Well, it is really special, so.
All right. Well, thank you for answering all those, and
yeah.
Go ahead and follow Timmy. We're going to say it again at the end of the episode. Follow him at Midcourse Media and follow Coaster Talk, because he's invading the episode right now, so appreciate it again. But we have now the news. So what do we even start with now, man? Like, do you want to start with the first one? Because we technically talked about the mind blower thing.
Yeah. I mean,
all right, let me look at this. So apparently, Area Force One has trains. I don't know if they're on. Is that the station?
Looks like I want to say they're on the transfer track.
Okay.
Yeah, that looks like the transfer to me.
It's got the little conveyor belt if you zoom in and stuff. They're on the transfer track.
All right, so they're moving. It's looking like, in my opinion, this is going to be open in spring 2023, like March, April-ish.
Yeah. I wonder if they're gonna do it on a holiday or something.
Yeah. But another
the 4th of July.
God, please don't wait that long.
Oh man, that would I would hate that.
But another ride to look forward to in 2023. I mean, we're looking forward to it like now, but
oh, hold on, check Discord real quick.
I'm looking.
This was posted 7 hours ago.
So
this guy Jay, the content creator, has been on top of the Air Force One content. Let me tell you, the construction. Because I've looked this guy up. I've been looking up construction updates, and I believe this is one of the guys.
Yeah, shout out Jay, the content creator. He might. Okay, it looks like he's actually showing where they had the trains.
But this is the guy I remember. This dude's been doing construction updates for like months.
It looks awesome. My gosh.
Yeah, I'm going through it right now, and
how is this at a fun spot park?
Every time I look at this ride, I need to ride it more. It looks more and more just enticing.
I think so. That must mean that the trains on the track is like newer than whenever he took the content that he posted today.
Yeah, but we don't know when he recorded that video, so.
Yeah.
This layout is. People really aren't realizing how long this layout, like, how much it does.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to make a trip down for that ride. That looks good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I missed the
The
stumble
stumble.
in Georgia, so I'm gonna have to hit Six Flags Georgia anyway. So
Yeah.
Oh. Overrated park. No, I'm just kidding.
oh, you forgot one.
Yeah, that part. I like the park and I don't like the park at the same time. Like I have some issues where every time I go, it's incredibly busy. The cell towers are overcrowded, so I can't connect to anything. The lines are all long. But it might just be more of a personal experience. It's probably not like that all the time.
RMC's. Okay, I can't look at this because I'm gonna be cooling over.
Yeah, that's what
This,
I'm doing.
this
That's
layout.
what I'm doing right now. I'm just staring at all this footage of Air Force One.
So, yeah, Air Force One is. It had seemed like it halted for a good bit, but now it's looking like it's definitely at least making some steady progress. So hopefully we can all ride that sooner or later. Make it down there, support them, make even more. Add an Intamin Giganux.
Yeah, that'll happen.
Fun spot, man. So Hollywood Nights,
Oh, you want to cover that now? Cause
or should we hit all the small stuff?
that's what I was saying. Cause I feel like you guys can talk about that for a good bit. Considering
Yeah.
one of the
Yeah, add that to the end, I think.
yeah.
Let's just continue
I'm
on.
gonna get some water real quick.
Alrighty, so
I'll be
we'll
right
go with
back.
some of the light stuff, get them out of the way. So Cedar Point Wild Mouse completed. Yeah, I
Yep,
mean,
that shocked me.
yeah.
That went up really fast.
Yeah, it went up literally like when you look at like people's progress on a Connects coaster on like Instagram or something or YouTube. That's literally how fast they put that up. It was like we saw it maybe a month and a half ago, like the first station part, and then now they're done. In fact, there's actually some pieces that aren't even on it. It's just sitting like on the side, like unfinished. I don't know. It's kind of weird. I don't know if I've ever seen that with like a coaster before. Like they finished the ride, but they have like remaining pieces, of
Extra
its furniture.
parts.
Yeah.
They're like, crap, where did I assemble this wrong? Like, how do I have 2 extra legs for this chair or something?
But
Like,
yeah,
you get something from IKEA.
it looks pretty fun. I'm not gonna lie. For what it is, it looks like it could be pretty good. You know, I'm not a Wild Mouse fan or anything.
Well, we'll have to see what it's like when it opens up.
Yeah.
I think see what the area is like and stuff. I'm excited to see what that whole new section looks like, the boardwalk area.
So I guess from going pretty recently, I'm actually pretty excited to see this pier because I think the park needs something like that. I don't know. Like people say, oh, it's the coasters, and that's it, and I kind of agree. So the guest experience with a coaster, you know, we get a bar to sit down in, get to chill out. You don't really have anywhere to do that in Cedar Point, so I'll take it. Because probably the next year they're going to give us South Thrills reimagined
Yeah.
Boogaloo, whatever they end up naming it to. The food there was good. I think Cedar Fair, we were talking about this a little bit when we were actually having Grand and Grill Winterfest. Which, yeah, we could talk about that a little bit, too. We were at Winterfest recently, which we rode Twisted Timbers twice.
Yep.
And then down for temperature. Yeah.
Last train of the night.
Hell yeah. But, yeah, it was so cold, we kind of just went out and played pinball instead, which was really fun, actually. I did not know there was so much pinball in your area. I'm jealous.
There was, yeah, that little section there. There's a ton of places to play pinball in that like 4-block square that we were at. Like we could have gone to other places too.
Yeah, I looked up afterwards. I was like, all right, pinball near me. and it literally was listing places in Richmond. I'm like, well,
Hey, we were killing it though on Star Wars. We all put up like 200 million.
the Star Wars.
Yeah, we kept getting free plays.
We got like who? We looked over one point, and then RC has 700 million. Like,
Yeah.
in like maybe less than 45 seconds. No, it was less than 10 seconds. He jumped like 300 million in less than 10 seconds. He ended the game with 700
that's pretty
million.
awesome.
No, I don't understand that Star Wars game. I need to play it more. I don't know how to get any. I think I was kind of setting up a meta, but man, but yeah, pinball's fun. Play pinball if you don't play pinball.
Yes. Wes, one thing you can do, a little off topic, but there's a website, an app called Pinball Map you can go to and just look up your area and find pinball near you.
All right.
Just look up Pinball Map. That's all it is. Yep.
If I do that at my house, it's depressing. I'd have to drive like an hour.
Really?
Yeah, there's nothing near me.
Is Ocelot and all that not near you?
Oh, you're talking about the stuff in like Northern Virginia?
Yeah.
I'd have to drive like an hour. Yeah.
That's like an hour from you?
Yeah.
If there is something in Northern Virginia, I might be in luck. I have to see. But when it was showing me like rentals and repairs and then just Richmond arcades, I'm like,
Yeah, I'm telling you, Pinball Map is the website to do. Like when I'm out and when James and I are like on a trip or something, and we want to play pinball that night, we just go on Pinball Map and look up if there's pinball in the area.
Oh, Arcade Monsters, Timmy, in Florida.
Oh yeah, that was fun.
Awesome. Yeah. Might have to go. West, we might have to go there.
arcade mall.
There's another place at Deezerland, I believe it's called, that has a ton of machines.
I'm gonna have to check it out this trip.
Yeah. So now we're talking about the news. About
Hey, I
pinball
mean,
now.
hey, especially if Universal closes at like 8 o'clock,
It's
go
true.
play some pinball.
You can go with Bob and pay him.
Oh, yeah. We'll set up everyone to go play pinball.
Hopefully they'll turn the lights off on us like they did last time, and then
And just rip the cords out of the machine pretty much. We were just finishing our game, man.
Yeah, that was not cool. That was not cool.
So, what else? Well, so I'll throw the meme one out here. There's a new Disco Yeti lighting. I don't know if you saw that, Timmy.
I did not.
So it looked like, honestly, like a maintenance worker left a light on like behind the Yeti at Expedition Everest. But in my opinion, it kind of made the Disco Yeti look a little better because you could actually see him and it just wasn't seizure fuel. But yeah.
That's
Disco
funny.
Yeti. You guys can probably look that up if you want to, but I thought that was interesting and funny. The Batman trains in Park Madrid, though.
Oh, those look great.
Those look fantastic.
As a Batman stan, man. Oh, those look. I need to see them in actual physical. Like, I need an actual picture. I need to see them in real life. Cause
Yeah. I can't wait to get some more shots of those.
What were we Jeffrey Siebert standing for again? Oh yeah.
Oh, the sign. He
Existing.
said,
Oh, wait, was it for the was this at Fiesta Texas where they say now like
Yeah.
what temperature the rides go down at?
yeah, they wanted to. It was because he was saying he wanted to have better communication with the public.
I think that's a great idea.
In an effort to enhance our guest communication, our world-class operations team adds new informational signs for attractions that are temporarily closed. So, yeah. Shout out Jeffrey Siebert again. Best park president out there.
I like Kevin at Busch Gardens a lot too. He's cool. Cause I like him because he's always walking around the park. Like he's always down to just sit and chat and talk.
Is this Williamsburg?
Yeah,
Surprising.
short guy. Really short guy.
Blends up with the crowd.
It's a good thing. It's a good thing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. When I'm taller than someone, it says something.
But we'll throw this out here too because I didn't even know this. Apparently, Steel Dragon 2000 was staying when not operating for like close to over 2 years.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did not know that either. When I saw that in the rundown, I was very surprised.
Yeah, and they just reopened it because I up on Twitter I got it just came up on my feed that this one Japanese coaster enthusiast was super happy to finally ride it again. I was like, I didn't even know that. I mean, obviously not everyone's.
That's weird. Well, because they didn't have it noted on RCDB. So that's interesting.
Yeah. But yeah, if you're for some reason going to Nagashima Spyland and were in need that credit, a rare credit, you're in luck.
Wasn't I just saying that was on my bucket list?
Mm-hmm. So for some reason, if you were going, I think that's another reason why I thought that was interesting and threw it in there.
Yeah.
More Disney. Splash Mountain closing for Princess and the Frog refurb. Finally!
This is only the Disney World one, though. We don't know when the Disneyland one is closing.
God.
But assume early 2023
So you said
for that.
The Disney World one?
Yeah, the Disneyland one still doesn't have a closing date.
So this isn't going to open for another 6 years.
If it's on the Tron schedule.
Man.
No, they're supposed to open in 2024 maybe.
I'll give them some delays. I'll say maybe early 2025.
Late 2024 is when they're expected to open. We'll see what happens. A lot of things are down at Disneyland right now, actually, for refurb, or we'll be closing for refurb in early 20.
Sounds like Knott's Berry Farm.
Yeah, I saw a post on Instagram from a Disneyland fan account I follow. The things that are scheduled for refurb currently: Toontown won't open until March. It's a Small World, closing to remove the holiday theme. Radiator Springs Racer is closing. Great Moments with Mr. Lincoln. Indiana Jones is closing for a huge refurbishment. The Web Slingers Spider-Man Ride is closing. Tarzan's Treehouse is closed right now. Grizzly River Run, Haunted Mansion, and now Splash Mountain will be closing soon. So that's like literally like 10 rides are down for refurbishment right now, or to remove the holiday theme.
Oh my god. Yeah, it's like I don't really even know. These parks are 365, literally. Like, how do you do it seamlessly?
Oh, you don't?
Yeah, you get robots and you do it overnight, but we're not at that point yet. Maybe that's what Disney has been working on ever since the Spider-Man animatronic. Trying to make animatronics that just do stuff in the parks.
Apparently they have one that's Baymax and it's supposed to actually fly, like a drone or something. We'll see how that works.
Whoa. Yeah. Where would they be doing that? Pixar Pier?
Oh,
no, it's actually at Disneyland, I believe, and Disney World during a fireworks show, possibly.
No coherence.
From what I've heard.
Man, so yeah, what do you think about this redesign? Have you ever been on Splash Mountain RC?
I have not. Don't think I've been on Splash Mountain.
I'm sad about it because I love Splash Mountain, but I mean, I understand, what it's linked with. If people are getting offended, I'm always for changing for the most part. So, as much as I'm going to miss it, I kind of understand. But it is sad, I know, because I personally don't particularly see the issue. But I also understand, like, kind of what it's linked with. I haven't really looked too deep into it, so. But I'm just gonna miss it. I mean, I wish they themed it to something other than an IP, like Princess and the Frog, or at least something else that kind of fit better. But it's what we got. We'll have to see what happens. See if it's any good first before we make any full judgment. But I mean, I wish it was something a little more fitting to a water ride.
I think the overlay could work, but I mean, you're getting rid of one of the definitive,
like, iconic,
Disney attractions, regardless of whether or not majority probably feel the way you feel. Like, they aren't upset with the fact people feel a certain way. They're upset with, they're gonna be losing a classic ride that they rode every time at Disney World.
Right.
So, yeah, it's losing a piece of history in amusement parks. So, It is somewhat sad. It is sad. But, well, hopefully this can live up to the original. That's all we can hope, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So, I didn't really know much about this until I saw it, RC, but Leviathan opened in SeaWorld, Australia.
Yes, have you
Finally.
seen the POV?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I'm like,
Bad things, good things.
it looks incredible.
Gravity Group is king.
Like for its stats, the POV looks incredible. And I'm not one to watch a lot of POVs. But
Really? I
yeah.
love POVs.
I mean, that looks like an incredible Woody.
Yeah, like
This ride has been under construction for such a long time. Oh man, this looks really good, yeah.
Let's see.
Because this was supposed to open in 2020 along with Pantheon, if I remember correctly.
Oh, so this is literally a SeaWorld park.
It's got very similar stats to Boardwalk Bullet, actually.
Wait. Is this owned by Seas?
Yes.
I actually did not know that. Interesting. Well, this was just a like a park in Australia called SeaWorld.
No, this is actually a SeaWorld park, yeah.
Wow, that actually, Leviathan looks incredible, really.
It does look really good.
So, where in Australia is this?
That is a Google question. I'm looking it up right now.
There's like that trick track right after, and that overbank looks incredible.
Thank you, Gravity Group.
Yeah.
So it is in like the very eastern tip of Australia, really. So
Aren't all their parks like super spread out from each other too?
Warner Brothers Movie Land is 20 minutes away, it says.
Oh wow.
This can't be
Australia
right.
trip?
Wow. The more you know. DC Rivals is 25 minutes from Leviathan.
Well, I mean, they always are talking about how Australia's on the come up in the Buzzbars chat. So.
I don't know if I ever want to go there.
All right.
Really?
Terrified of spiders, and they have spiders that are the size of plates that eat birds.
Yes.
Well, I'm terrified of spiders too, but they've got some damn good roller coasters over there.
Well, it's not like they'd be crawling out like spiders like here. Like you just see one randomly like on your wall or something. Like you wouldn't just come out of your bathroom and just see a massive bird eater spider. You
don't know that.
A lot of that stuff is.
Can we stop talking about spiders?
Sorry for all the arachnophobes listening. What else we got here?
Oh my god, I looked up how common are spiders in Australia, and there's literally just pictures of giant spiders in houses, and now I'm freaked out.
Timmy. Oh man.
Oh man. They are huge.
So now we're getting to all the good stuff now. So Portaventura, adding the Uncharted coaster. One of the first multi-dimensional coasters in the world.
Yeah, I'm excited to see and also I don't want to look, and so I can be surprised if I actually go back and ride it.
Yeah. I'm not a fan of the Uncharted IP, as in like them using it, because it's from the movie. It looks like, and not necessarily the games.
The games.
So,
who doesn't like Tom Holland though?
Yeah, he's kind of he's one of those faces in Hollywood now, right? Where he's very likable face, very likable guy. I think that regardless though, this could be incredible. You know, I'm assuming it has to be Intamin, or who's another manufacturer does 4D type of multi-dimensional like houses and stuff and coasters, like immersive coasters.
Does Vekoma do it? I don't think so. I believe that this is an Intamin. I'm looking it up as we speak.
It's like I feel like it's part of their new lineup, this new project or that they have with these multi-dimensional.
Yeah, it's an Intamin.
Okay. Because it's doing a lot.
I think it's Intamin and Sally possibly working together.
Oh, interesting.
But Sally's doing the theming.
Uh,
Intamin's doing the coaster.
So I know Escape from Gringotts is also an Intamin.
Yes.
Was that also a multi-dimensional coaster?
I guess so.
Because like
I don't.
when I saw like what all this, at least when when I look at the videos of the new model, it seems like just an advancement on like the Escape from Gringotts, like what that could have done. And they were just like, hey, we can do even more now, and it's even more reliable. So I'm excited for any type of new coasters that really put in, and not everything has to be a Giga. Not everything has to have 20 airtime hills. I'm a dark ride fan too, so immersing both of them is awesome. So I'll take
If it's anything like Gringotts, it'll be a treat. So.
Oh yeah. So another reason to go to Portaventura if you already didn't have a reason. RC, what do you think about this?
That's exactly my thoughts too.
I'm fighting the urge to not say anything about that Gringotts comment.
Oh, I see. Because I know exactly why.
Why is that?
Well, Bob,
Oh. Well, I'm just saying Gringotts is mid.
Oh, I thought you were saying because you spoiled something for Bob that you did not want to spoil.
Oh, the tilt track?
Yeah.
Oh,
See-
I get what you're getting at. Because I spoiled it for Bob, but okay, never mind.
I love Gringotts. Even if it's not really that much of a coaster, it's still an awesome freaking ride.
It's alright.
I'm glad, or I thought it was hilarious that Timmy thought he was like, oh no, you don't want to spoil it. Where oh no, I was just gonna say.
And then RC goes, the tilt track?
Oh, I did it again. Shoot.
Yes, you did.
Yeah, high rollers.
You were terrible at spoiling things. This is crazy. I literally avoided it. I did a great job. And
I had a feeling like, it might be one of those like those Carnan type of experiences where people say don't talk about the lift hill. I'm like, what happens on the
oh, that's my #1 bucket list coaster. Oh my god.
Huh.
So it's one of those. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know where it is, so I still think I'll be caught off guard. We'll see. But yeah, nice high rollers moment.
Yeah.
Oh wait, there was last stuff.
Good job, buddy.
Vekoma finally has perfected their boomerang because they have so many boomerangs.
Wasn't that the one meme? That was like a meme thing, right?
Yeah, because it's another boomerang. Showcasing another boomerang model. I forgot where that one's going though. Because I was just kind of like,
China, right? Yeah, it's between Beijing and Shanghai.
Now it is a super boomerang, so it's not like it's another. It's actually doing like it's a pretty unique layout, but yeah, it's a boomerang from Vekoma. They have those on lock. All right. So finally, what do you guys think? What is the Six Flags Kitty? I don't even know how you say it. Is actually seeming like it's coming together. A lot of people have their doubts, especially with Falcons Flight being the hot topic. A coaster that breaks every single record, basically, as we know it for coasters. In one. The longest, tallest, fastest. Probably most, I don't know about most inversions, but probably some inversion type record. And they have finally...
Inversion or something.
They have finally starting to work on the station. It's been making waves. I'm pretty sure a lot of enthusiasts, if you're terminally online, have seen the engineer that posted it on Twitter. But he posted, "Hey, we're starting the station for Falcons Flight. It's actually happening."
So when do we find out more?
Exactly. You know, I was going through Intamin's panels, and I got to Aces, and they were talking about this is during IAPA. They were talking about one of the, I forgot exactly the topic question they had. It was what was the most challenging projects you had to work on, or basically while worrying about your guests on the ride, and dealing with that. And he was saying the hardest thing he had to design, or Intamin's had to work with, was the Falcons Flight project. And I was like, what? And I was like, for the next 3 minutes, I was listening, because he said we stood on the cliff where the 700-foot drop where they wanted, and it was just saying, oh, it's going to be amazing for people to actually experience this. We've designed it, and, making that layout was one of the hardest things you had to do, probably, at least for his tenure in working at Intamin. And I was like, so it's actually designed and completed.
I did not hear this. This is pretty freaking awesome to me.
I feel like this is under the radar. Like, I feel like people didn't hear
wow.
that. So that was to me where when I saw the station and then I heard that, I'm like, oh crap. This is actually happening?
Wow.
I don't think there's going to be boosters down that 700-foot drop, because come on.
That would be stupid. If that actually happens, my gosh.
That's some Thrillville, like, come on. But I do think, like, that could be one of the best drops in the world if they somehow successfully get that to work. But from what I heard, it's just still like a what the fuck, if anything. Like, wow. Apparently a few bit of the infrastructure in the park's been being worked on too. So we'll see. We'll see if they say any more about it. It's
I'm gonna remain a little cautious and see what happens.
Oh yeah. We stay cautious here, but it's interesting. That's all I'm gonna say.
Oh, I'm intrigued.
It is definitely interesting.
All right, so finally, and this is the last of the news, but we'll also segue into our topic of the day. The Holiwood Nights has tickets again. Well, when we did we were going to record this, they had tickets, but now they don't. But they have a whole new event. Not whole new event. They're bringing back Holiwood Nights. But they were not doing the cap, it seemed like, anymore. They were doing these weird group tickets. You guys might know better exactly how they were setting.
Well, they were limiting it.
Yeah.
It still isn't going to be like anyone can go as long as they get a ticket. It's still limited because they want to make the experience better for those who can go. But
they did so instead of doing the survey and stuff like last year, they did first come first serve.
Right. This time it was, it's a first come first serve, and you just sit there, you refresh the website right at whatever time it releases for you, and you hope you get in, which I got in on 3 different devices. And then I was checking out. I had 5 different tickets in my cart, or 6 different tickets in my cart. And then I went to put in the credit card information to pay for them, and I hit confirm purchase, and they got removed from my cart and said that there was an error because the event was sold out.
Yeah, really, that's the main thing.
That's the issue. That's the issue I have, because Holiday World said, and I will try to pull it up real quick so I can quote it directly.
I'm pulling it up now.
I do remember them saying, like, there wasn't gonna be a capping, like.
No, so I believe they still wanted there to be a cap, but what they said is that once tickets are added to your cart, they're only saved for 15 minutes. So bug your friend who never texts back now.
Yeah.
And so I had them in my cart, and they got removed from me still. That's the issue that I have.
Yeah.
And so I talked to customer service about it.
Honored.
Yeah, no, it was not. And I talked to customer service about it, and they said it was a big issue that they had with third-party contractor that they have for the tickets checkout thing. And they said that there's just nothing they can do because everyone had this issue, so they'd have to give out like a ton of tickets. Luckily, I was able to get one for myself because I was just trying to, instead of trying to get all 6, I was just trying to add one with my own information to see if there was like individual ones just dropping out. and I managed to get one for myself, but that was it. So I couldn't get any for anyone else I was trying to get them for, which is really frustrating.
I mean, that's what I heard is people, what's that, went as single tickets had no issue. The group ones is where it was most of the issues.
So, and also like if you checked out really fast, you wouldn't have an issue. But I was like trying to put in card information and stuff. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
but if you got it done, like it was probably no issues for the first like 5 minutes or so if you were quick with it. But the issue is that if they're added to your cart and they told you that they're going to be saved for 15 minutes, they weren't, and all they did was apologize. They said there was nothing they
Yeah,
could do to.
I don't necessarily have an issue with the way that they did it, but like because they did it through a third party software and there were all these issues, now just a bunch of people are shit out of luck
Right.
because they can't just oversell and go past how many people they want at the event. So the people that did not get honored their 15 minutes and they got fucked over, there's nothing that can be done for them, and they're just going to be getting a bunch of calls from angry enthusiasts that didn't get in.
Which is definitely not the spot they want to be in.
And that's so they've got to find some system to where it actually works, especially with the popularity of the event.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah, like I have never been able to experience one yet. Uh, I thought it would have been easier this year. But yeah, the camping is real for anything, it seems like. You know, from shoes to graphics cards, all the way down to Hollywood night tickets. People will do what they want to get what they need to get, you know, their wants. But yeah, I feel like maybe there should have been a time period, like just in general, where you could have got tickets if they really wanted to do. I don't know the way they were doing, cause like, did they even say what the cap was?
It was supposedly like
Um.
200 tickets or something.
200.
No, it's more than that. Last time
Well,
they had
it
500.
was
I think they wanted to do a little bit more than that.
it was
But
like
it's around that
200, but
range.
everyone could buy four, I thought, or something like that.
If that were the case, then like, then of course they ran out fast. Or,
Yeah, it's really like it needs to get figured out. I mean, I understand
yeah.
because they're trying to find the happy medium. Because one time I went and I got one trimless ride on Voyage the entire weekend, which I was not very happy about. And then another time last time I went and you literally could get as many rides on it. It was a station wait. So because the one time 2 hour and 2.5 hour wait during ERT, the other time like 10 minutes. So I think they're just trying to find that happy medium and trying to figure out the best way to do this. But I think, and I was talking a little bit in another Discord channel I'm in, the best way to do this, in my opinion, is before they had you fill out a survey and write like a small, like you could write like a small like why you think you want to be chosen or that type of thing.
Yeah.
And I think the best way to do it is start off with that. And they did a lottery system through that, so they could pick out like random people, and so your group would get chosen. I believe, like you would get like a guest ticket or two.
Yeah.
If you got chosen through that, do it that system first. So then people can randomly get selected so that it makes it so the people who are really good at getting stuff online fast or who are bad at that still have another opportunity to get tickets. And then that also makes it so you give out, like, I'd say maybe 60-70% of your tickets through the lottery system. Then you don't have as much website traffic going through on the online system, so the website doesn't have as many issues. I think that's the best way to do it, in my opinion. And then that still gives, because then it gives people, if they feel like they missed out on the lottery, then they also feel like they have the chance to take fate into their own hands, kind of, and like still try to get their own tickets. I think that's the best way to do it, in my opinion.
I mean, yeah, because like people were saying that they have had I've heard a lot of their first time experience where you only were able to get one trimless, and then I heard last year for some people it almost felt too light.
Well, that's I'm interested to see. I only went this past year, and it was very light. We were able to get a lot of rides. I wonder in 2023 how much they increased that cap by. or if they remained in a very similar position. Because obviously there's such a drastic change between a 2.5 hour wait in 2021 and then this year, 2022, there being like no wait. So I wonder
Right.
how that's going to change this year.
Right. I want to. Well, it really just depends on how many more tickets they sold. So we'll have to see.
And I wonder if they were able to like use the data from 2021 and this year to like gauge a number of tickets that they wanted to sell this year or something. But I mean, still, it seems like yet
I think something
again,
else they did was try to just like the fact that these tickets are being sold right now in the beginning of December
right?
when the event is in like beginning of June. Um, I think that has a lot to do. They're trying to like get people that are really invested in the event that actually care. Like they
Yeah.
know like I need to get this done now, or like
Well,
you know they
I completely agree, but despite that, it's still sold out to a point where there's a lot of people that didn't get tickets that want to go and tried to get tickets still. So that kind of like gauges just how popular this event is getting.
That's what I was gonna bring
oh
up.
totally.
How small is the enthusiast percentage actually?
I mean, we've got to have a community of. So if we're just talking about culture enthusiasm, there's across the world, you know, that's a lot.
Yeah, that's like
And people from across the world find out about Hollywood Nights if they're
because
actually into the hobby, you know.
they say like, oh, I do agree. A lot of the business decisions they're not looking at enthusiasts, but like
Not at all.
some of these holiday worlds, Knobles, without the enthusiasts, the word of mouth, because they don't really market.
Right. The word of mouth
Mm.
is really insane.
I mean, I question how big is the pool of people that are into it enough to know about Hollywood Nights and want these tickets to how big the pool is that actually get in.
Yeah.
What's the cap now?
I do think that they're probably actively looking at every single year and trying, like Timmy said earlier, just actively tuning, trying to make as perfect as possible, which it probably never will be. Really, nothing is perfect. There's always going to be some sort of hedge, some sort of con, but hopefully
The event can only get more popular as social media becomes more popular. The event can only get more popular. I think that's kind of something else that's happening here.
You know what I can also see?
Yeah.
I could see them doing an early. I don't know if they like an early tickets like this. Like you can buy them now, and then they might do another wave later. Maybe.
I'm still kind of thinking that might be something that they do possibly later as
I
another.
was thinking so too. Yeah.
Because, yeah, the event is a whole 6 months away. We're all dealing with, at least at my end, I'm worrying about buying a lot of family gifts, friends gifts.
Exactly. Yeah. This is a time where there was a lot of money being spent everywhere.
And
So
I would feel a little selfish. Like, all right, let me throw 140 for this, for myself, real quick.
When
Here.
I've seen people saying that they've raised the price a lot
I heard that
for
too.
the event as well. And I don't necessarily think it's overpriced for what we get.
Isn't it like
But
two
like
nights of
they're
like 2 whole days and a night
yeah.
of well, the nights you get ERT of all the rides and then Trimless Voyage.
But they're also picking this time of year to release upcharge tickets, trying to like really find the people that want to invest into this event, you know. And then yet again, it's oversold, and there's a lot of people that didn't get tickets.
Yeah, that is true. Huh. Yeah. So, I guess that'll go into the topic here for the cast that we have, which we're kind of technically talking about a bit. But does Holiwood Nights skew the opinion of Holiday World as a park? Now,
Among enthusiasts.
I've never been. I've just heard great things about the lineup there, the energy there, the how just the park is ran, and obviously the events that they give to the enthusiasts and to the people that really do care about the park and the rides. So you two have been, Timmy, on I'm assuming 2 separate occasions, maybe more.
Oh, 4,
Okay,
I think.
Yeah, so you've been quite a few times. How many Holiwood
3 or
Nights?
4, yeah. Well, I mean, every time I go is for Holiwood Nights. So.
Okay.
So Timmy, you've never went outside of Holiwood Nights. You've only done 4 Holiwood Nights trips.
Correct. Besides, like going during the day of the event, like during the day.
Because
like...
I've been on a regular summer day, and I've also been for the Holiwood Nights event.
Okay.
And I mean, I would definitely say that Holiwood Nights skewed my opinion of Holiday World because when I went on a regular summer day, I didn't get trimless night rides on Voyage. I didn't, and also, I feel like there's a much better atmosphere for, a big enthusiast event that a lot of people are looking forward to.
Well, I think that's always. I think the question is, sorry to cut you off, but does Holiwood Nights skew the opinion? Yes, because you're gonna have those people. Whether it's a good opinion, skewed in a positive or a negative direction, that's a whole different can of worms there. But you look on Reddit, you see everyone saying the only reason why you think this way is because you went to Holiwood Nights and got trimless Voyage rides, or you didn't do that. So, like, it's gonna be skewed in one direction or another. That's where it gets really polarizing, I think.
Right.
Sorry to cut you off, but. So I think that's also another good discussion that should be had is, do you think that Holiwood Nights is an overall positive thing in the community for the park, or do you think it's more of a negative thing? Because I think now when they have these kind of dilemmas with the tickets and, people that used to go to the event, like me, who had to wait 2.5 hours for Voyage, like, that kind of was a negative outlook, that event. So it's like, maybe Holiwood Nights is not great in the enthusiast community. Like, maybe it's not helping Holiday World in that sense.
Yeah, because I'm trying to think of just other, parks aren't really going out of their way themselves to make an event for the enthusiasts. It's generally a club, Ace, the Buzz Bars, Coaster Crew, people like them that, they go as an organization or as a group and say, hey, we want to do this with other enthusiasts. The fact that Hollywood or Holiday World is going out of their way to make this enthusiast event, I guess what I'm trying to say is it's good on, it's supposed to be a good look on, hey, we care about you guys, we already care, we're trying to thank you guys for coming, but now it's kind of close to like almost the Taylor Swift Ticketmaster. Like, oh god, like how can we get in? How can we game the system to get in every year? People waiting kind of like Genie Plus, like 6 a.m. because like, yeah, it's stressful to get in now. It's seeming like.
Yeah, sure. Thinking about what Timmy said, it's almost that it's just gotten, the event itself has gotten so popular to where it may be a negative thing, depending on like just how many people are like upset about how it gets handled and stuff.
Right, it's the same exact ordeal that happens with the Coaster Mania at Cedar Point.
Yeah.
Actually, Cedar Point does have Coaster Mania.
That is a very similar thing where tickets get sold out, and that they usually do it through this system where you get tickets or you don't, first come first serve. And so people will be upset if they don't get those. And the event is supposed to be pretty good from what I've heard. I mean, they let a lot more people in than Holiwood Nights does, because I've seen crazy lines during Coaster Mania. But
realistically, I could see it getting to that point, and then Holiday World's a family-owned park. Like, they'll just stop doing the event.
I've heard rumors of that. I've heard rumors that, like, I don't know how. These are just rumors. Just keep that. All the listeners and everyone, it's a rumor. But I've heard that this might be one of the last, like, Holiwood Nights that actually might happen. because of technically the stuff we're talking about. Like, it's just getting too much for the park. It's not even that profitable, at the end of the day. But I'm not sure they would
If
do
it's a
2 nights.
more of a headache, then
Yeah, like, I don't know if profits are a thing, because 2 nights for trimless and all that stuff for me is... I don't think they're bringing enough profits there, especially with 140... Was it 140 a ticket now?
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, so...
Well, it's like if it starts to bring in the negativity,
yeah.
I could see why a family-owned park like Holiday World would stray away. If it starts to bring in that negativity where there's way more people that are mad and calling the phone lines and complaining about tickets than, the 2,000 people that got tickets and are going to be happy at the event. They just don't want to deal with that headache anymore.
Yeah.
Which would be very sad if that happens.
But, it just, I mean, it could just be getting to that point where it's so popular and then they can't find that happy medium and they don't want to deal with the headache of trying. Because you can only find it by trying and failing. So
I think they could possibly find something to work out here.
Yeah, I
I
think
hope so. I mean, it's
yeah,
an
I think so.
amazing event.
Oh yeah, it's the best coaster enthusiast event I've ever been to. Like, hands down, nothing really compares besides maybe Phoenix Fun Fest, but that's still not as great as Holiwood Nights.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, I can't wait to even just go to Holiday World in general, regardless. But I do think they're gonna let out a few more waves. Like,
I think you might see one in a couple of weeks, possibly, or a month or two.
Yeah, like, cause. Yeah,
I mean,
I
I
don't
feel
know if
like
I've ever done it this early.
realistically, Holiday World is going to be getting like emails and stuff for like the next like at least week or two, just because of
Yeah.
like today's events, and they're gonna have to like they'll probably like make a statement or something.
They might even see just off of the demand. They might need to put out 1 or 2 more waves.
I mean, I'm sure they could see like what the website traffic was and stuff,
Yeah.
and
That's
figure
literally-
out it's got to be a gauge of some sort.
That's literally what I do right now.
Yeah.
The traffic of the networks. Yeah, you can definitely see. If you got in and you're listening to the cast, congratulations.
It will be an amazing
Yeah,
weekend.
you will
Yeah.
probably have the time of your life. So I guess I'll ask, if you've been there without the event, RC, what do you think of the park, regardless? Not expecting Holiwood Nights, not expecting trimless night rides, not expecting food.
When I
Just
went, I
there
had
as a
when
normal
when I
day.
went on a normal summer day, I had a great time. All the lines were manageable, all the staff was friendly. It was still a great park atmosphere.
Yeah.
I mean, even Legend was closed on the day that I went, so we just rode Voyage and rode
It's terrible.
Raven and rode Thunderbird.
I said, wow, it's terrible.
Enjoyed the free beverages at the Oasis stations. I mean, it's a top tier park.
Yeah, I think if the park's like, if you can enjoy a park when there's no events going on and stuff, I think that shows that it's not just the event that makes that park
Yeah.
great, but
Exactly.
It's an enhancement.
the trimless night rides are pretty freaking spectacular though, so not gonna complain about those.
Legendary.
Oh, for
Right.
sure. I see what you did there, pun intended.
So, I guess closing thoughts and wrap-ups now, because we can go on about little nitpicks and tidbits on that all day. So, I didn't even get what you were... Did you even drink anything here, Timmy?
I drank a beer during the show, yeah.
Yeah, what did you even drink?
So I drank the same thing that you had when you came over to my place. It's a Hellsbach lager imported from Germany. It's I'm gonna butcher this name even though I'm in the German Honor Society. I think it's pronounced Weihenstoffner. But I prefer like a light lager, so I just had one of those during the show. Did some homework in the background, low key. If it's finals, so I've been trying to get that done. But yeah, I'm a It was like a drunk riders episode for me. I had a beer, a little brewski during the show.
Nice. Yeah, yeah. RC came in. I don't know how many you had before you came in,
About 3 or 4.
but okay. Yeah, I think I was yeah, just 2 rips. So I've been chilling,
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Feeling it.
feeling it, dude. We're gonna be in Florida, and at least for me, in close to 20, 40, under 48 hours.
That's crazy.
Dude, that's, man. Ugh, Florida. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty cool.
I'm
You're about to get some good credits.
honestly pretty excited to get away from the cold for at least a few days. Because, like, if the trip goes really well, this might just be a place I'll just go to get away from this.
There are very cheap flights all the time.
It's
So.
like,
Mhm.
Frontier, Breeze, getting some good cheap airlines to get down.
Never
Down
go
there.
wrong with a monthly Florida trip.
This is true.
mean,
This
this-
is what
this-
RC's been doing.
This will be number 7 for me.
I mean,
Just
we still gotta
Florida.
we still gotta go to Cali, though. I wouldn't mind making Cali's more expensive to fly to, though. That's the thing.
There's pretty good flights for the Cali Stumble. That's what I'm gonna try and get to.
I'm looking at that one.
We're gonna do the
Yeah.
High Rollers takeover on the straight out of Stumble.
I mean,
Is that what it's called?
yeah.
We just got it. You got to come up with your own pun. Like they got the stumbles. You got to come up with something.
Give me a rip in 5 minutes. That's all I can say. We'll come up with something. Oh man. So yeah, we've been here only an hour and a half. Actually, it's not that bad. I honestly thought this was gonna be more, but a lot of the topics were actually more memey and light than I remembered. So, John Warley agrees the back's better. I forgot. That's not really news though. That's just funny because he was talking to someone about designing Nemesis.
Oh, I gotta send this in the other group chat I'm in because Bob always says that the front is the best.
Yeah, he said,
No.
like, in the interview on The Sun, he basically says, oh, the front, you get the sense of speed and all, blah, blah, but the back, you really get the ride. Like, I'm kind of paraphrasing, but I thought it was really funny that, like, the first paragraph or two, he basically is explaining that to the journalist. You really get the ride. He said the middle was actually okay, though, and I was like, okay. You're kind of losing me there, John, but back, yeah. But yeah, besides that, thank y'all for making it this far. And thank you, Timmy, for joining us this time.
Absolutely. I've been trying to get on for the last couple episodes. I know it didn't work out on Sunday, so I'm glad I'm here now.
Oh, God.
I'm alive.
Yeah, you
Timmy-
made it through.
Timmy's okay.
He's
There was a-
officially initiated, even though he can't smoke at the moment, but...
Right. There was a moment in my head where I was like, do I need to go to the hospital? I wasn't gonna say it because I knew it would sound stupid, but I was struggling there, let me tell you. Whew.
That
Yeah.
was an interesting experience.
You know what we need to do? We need to have a video version of the cast, but instead of hot ones with the hot wings, we do
Like, no.
we just do J's and like we see how much they can smoke.
Oh God.
Like, all right, this one is a 99% THC distillate enhanced.
Oh my God.
King Louis X Blue Dream variant.
The purple
Keef
punch, man.
infused with the blunt wrap itself. Here you go. It shows like how the pepper gets hotter. It shows the
That purple punch, man. That was very good.
I don't even know what I'm about to get later. Let's get something tomorrow. But it's from my boy who always has the Preem shelf stuff. He gets it from, I want to say he gets it either from Colorado or Seattle. It just changes, but But this was DC actually. Fruit Punch. But DC has good stuff. They've been low key with it for years, tens of years. But yeah, yeah, we're actually going it up now. Jesus Christ, I'm just tangent on all this stuff. So where can they follow you, Timmy? Again.
So I am on Instagram at Midcourse Media, like I was saying earlier. Also at Coaster Talk Podcast is another place you can follow and listen to our show that I do with a couple other people. I believe if you want to email me, my email is timmy@coastertalkpodcast.com, which is my official podcast email, which is pretty cool. So if you want to email me for some reason or another, there you go.
Oh, I'm gonna email you, man.
Yeah.
I'm gonna sign Timmy up for some spam mail.
Appreciate you.
Appreciate you.
But yeah, that's me.
Also, if you want to carry on COD, just hit him up. I know your Activision battle tag.
Trust me, but people do not, the way skill based matchmaking works. People do not want to play with me because every time someone tries to play with me.
Oh my God, Timmy, you gotta see what.
But
that's so bad.
So you can also follow RC on Instagram. I don't know if you use Twitter really for coasters or anything like that, but
Old Line Airtime.
Yep. At
Hanging strong.
Airtime. Also follow me at West Howard Coasters. Handful, I know. We'll get there. West Howard Coasters. But in general, follow the podcast at the High Rollers DMV on Instagram. And if you like the cast, go ahead and give us a like, subscribe on the channel, if it's on YouTube, or go ahead and follow us on Spotify, where we'll be putting these out at least every 2 weeks. We be with the shenanigans, talking about what we've done, and we'll catch you guys next time. Thank you for joining us, and peace out.
Thank you for joining.
See you guys.
Thank you, Timmy.
Yeah.